like love, you sound like heart, you sound like something I ain't never given up. Sound like a song that you can't stop, but once you start, too much of you could never, never be enough.
So that's my point, I believe, is that in the end, if the town wants to do something here, they can change the law in any way that they need to make that happen, regardless as to those folks that may live on that street that may be negatively impacted by that.
Yes.
That's interesting.
The ultimate authority sits with the town board. If they decide they want to change the zoning ordinance, you know, the ZBA may say, we don't think it's a good idea. The planning board may recommend against it. But it's ultimately up to them. If they decide to change it, they have a public hearing and they vote the law into place, it's done. The only recourse anybody has after they pass that law, I think you get, I would have to double check, I think for something like that, you would have something like 60 days to file an Article 78.
Sure.
Or the state Supreme Court said, we think they screwed up.
Well, there is one other thing. The town could change it again. The town has the ultimate. Yeah. So it's those two things, Article 78 or the town can vote it.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, that's the point of the public hearing.
Here, Ryan Tebow, newly appointed zoning board member, appointed because it's apparently more important to maintain the good old boys club in town rather than to give other folks in the town the option of serving their community as well. Here, Ryan, one of the town board members in 2023 when the town opted out of the public comment in town board meetings, thereby censoring the public's input, states, well, that's the point of a public hearing.
Well, that's the point of the public hearing.
When, by his actions, he has removed that very ability of the public's ability to comment in town board meetings. How much less sincere can someone there to serve the public in the best interest of the public be?
Well, that's the point of the public hearing.
But keep in mind, a public hearing, the public gets to express an opinion. Unfortunately, the opinion carries about as much weight as the air you breathe.
Understood.
I mean, it's supposed to be taken into account, and if you've got, comments, from the public, and somebody said, you don't even take the public comment into account, and somebody says, I'm gonna file an Article 78 Supreme Court, and said, hey, everybody made all these comments, they ignored them, and the court can take that into account and say, we kind of agree with you guys to allow, or they can say, no, that's the town board prerogative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here, the chairman of the zoning board, Carl DeFranco, states that although public comment in a public hearing is to be considered, basically what the town feels is that no consideration of public comment is necessary unless it's followed up with an Article 78. Basically telling the public, if you have public comment, we'll listen to it because the state says we have to. But if you want to concern yourself over a final decision that we make that doesn't include public comment, you will need to file an Article 78, basically bring a lawsuit against the town.
The town board can then vote to actually establish that little tiny district in that spot. That's basically what you saw at the fire station. They put an amendment in that says we now have an overlay, which kind of floats wherever you need it, that you can apply to a particular district to allow these particular things. So they said, we're going to lay it down over there. Or, they passed it to allow it, and then they said we want it to be over there. And then, once that's done,
And that is the cousin of spot zoning.
yes, it is. It is very much so. But it's the legal way to do it.
Here, the town board of Western is allowed to step outside rules and regulations set forth by themselves in order to provide the ability of someone else to skip over those lines along with the town. This is done by applying spot zoning, or in the legal format, an overlay to allow the town to do this, thereby bypassing many of the rules and regulations that the town has basically put in place for everyone in the town to follow.
But again, these the kind of things they can be. They're not supposed to be arbitrary. They're supposed to be good rationale behind the decisions. But everybody making the decisions is human. Some people they lean one way or the other, and other people will go the other. And that's why we have politics. But yeah, I mean those kinds of procedures they're specified. You have to follow those pretty much to the letter, or you can get your wrist slapped.
Here, Carl DeFranco again states that the ability of anyone on the boards to vote one way or another can be based on political concerns and not necessarily toward the benefit of the public that board is there to serve. That's quite an alarming statement to make, considering the people are supposed to be the main reason these boards are formed and by the people and voted in by the people is to support the people. Here, it's allowed, apparently, for political concerns to take the lead and to direct the decisions of the town boards. As well, this spot zoning or overlay process provides an adequate foundation for the continuation of arbitrary decisions by the town.
Anybody else? Entertain a motion to adjourn.